Hi, my name is John Barnick, and I want to thank you for plugging into this conversation today. And really what I want to share today is just a little bit about my background, first and foremost, and then also how we became Team Inspire underneath the Real umbrella and our journey on how we got here. So crazy times that we're in right now. There is a pandemic still going on. And if you're like us, during that pandemic, you did a lot of self-reflection and some introspective work about where you were at, where you were going, and honestly, if you're on the right path to get there. And I would consider, or have you consider, that if you're here today, you're looking for something, and there's maybe this itch, or you got this feeling that maybe there's a better way to do real estate, right? And then maybe there's a better way to operate in this industry. And that's a lot of what we felt and what we found with this company. I'll get into some more details later, and there's tons of details all around me, as you can see on this page here. What we found is there absolutely is. To start with, I got my start in real estate when I was 23 years old. I was a factory worker before that, so went straight to work right after high school. I figured that why would I go to school if I could just start making money right away? And I got an entry position, making about $20 an hour, and honestly, I thought I made it. $20 an hour, not too bad for an 18-year-old with no bills. So kind of living it up back then. And I bought a house, I bought a car. And I realized that 50 grand a year doesn't really go that far, and I started exploring some other options because I just looked at that landscape, realized that that's not where I ultimately wanted to end up in my life, and went back to school because that's what we were taught. You go to school, you get a degree, you get a better job, right? That's how you move up in the world. So I was going to school. Working on that while I was working full-time at the factory, and one of my best friend's moms, she's a top producer here in the area, just overheard me one day complaining about my job, and she asked me a very simple question. Very thankful for the question, but she said, "Have you ever thought about going into real estate?" And honestly, I hadn't. Right? I mean, who thinks about that? Just like sitting around. I had a lot of questions, right? How do you make your income consistent, right? With it being commission work, where do you find your clients? A lot of those basic questions that you might have looking at getting into an industry like that. And she said, well, last year was an okay year for me. I made about 300 grand. And at that time, that was the most amount of money I'd ever heard anyone making, right, in 1 year. I was like, holy cow, that's remarkable. And the job that I was going for through college, the job I was looking to get into, was going to pay me less than a third of that to start. So I made the decision. I dropped out of school and I went and got my real estate license. And within just a few months, I was working full time with her. I quit the factory. Everyone thought I was crazy. I got the book thrown at me by my friends, my family, co-workers, right? They all thought I was nuts, right? I had a job for life and, job security, in my opinion, oxymoron. But I really just looked at it and I weighed the possibilities. And I said, if I go into real estate and if I am not good at it, or I don't make it, or it's really just something that doesn't appeal to me, I could always find a job. Right? I could always find a job. I could always get into something else. I never thought that would be an issue for me. Excuse me. On the other hand, I felt like if I am good at it, or I do excel at it, I am able to produce consistent income and scale it like the way I wanted to and thought I could, I may not ever have to quote unquote work a job again. And I've been full-time now for 9 years. Extremely blessed to have surrounded myself with a lot of good people over the years, and just very thankful for where I'm at today and the opportunities that are in front of me. But I took that leap of faith. Everyone thought I was crazy. And it was interesting because I thought that was like the next thing, right? That's the next phase, and this is the thing that I'm going to do forever, and it's gonna help me reach and accomplish all my goals. And I did 13 transactions my first year, so not super crazy good, but not terrible either, right? And then completely do nothing. But what I noticed, and I noticed this pretty quickly, right? When I was working with that top producer who brought me in. I love the amount of money that she made, and that's what initially attracted me to the business. But I didn't necessarily love the way that she had to earn it. Day in, day out, kind of rat wheel grind, right? Nonstop, never stopping. And in my mind, I was thinking to myself, I was like, I know that there's people that make this much money, if not, are making a whole lot more money, that aren't working like this for it. Right? I knew that there had to be a way to do something like that. And what I started hearing was real estate investing, right? That's a good way to build wealth. That's a good way to start accumulating assets and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, cool. So started going to networking groups, invested in some education early on, so I could start getting some of the fundamentals and stuff like that. And through one of those networking groups, I met probably one of my most impactful mentors, who's now my partner, and he sat me down and he showed me the cash flow quadrant. And if you don't know what the cash flow quadrant is, I'd highly recommend go do some deeper research on it and look at it and explore it. But gave you a high level overview of it and what really shifted my thinking and belief of what was possible. On the left hand side, you've got actively earned income, and top left is employees, bottom left is self-employed, right? And employee, that's like the weakest position that you could be in, right? Your income and your time and almost everything, like that car you drive, the house you live in, how many days you take on vacation, almost everything is determined by someone else, right? Because you're an employee. Self-employed, you've got a little bit more control. And really that was what was extremely attractive to me when I first came into the industry, because it was like, all right, cool, I get to go create the results that I want, right? No longer paid per hour, you get paid per result. And in my mind, it's like there's no limit to the amount of results that I could create. So, self-employed, still actively earning, right? It's other realtors, doctors, attorneys, potential to make more money than you can as an employee. But on that side, no matter if you're on the top or the bottom over there, you're still limited, right? Because you're one person, and there's only so much one person could do. So, and that's where my mentor was, right? She was in that self-employed, performing at a high level. But honestly, how long could you keep that up for? Or how long would you want to keep that up for? One of our favorite questions that we like to ask people, and really just looking at the landscape of this industry, do you know a retired real estate agent? And almost half of the people we ask that to kind of laugh, because you really don't. There's not a lot of people that just went through, had a successful real estate career, and retired solely off of that, right? If you start peeling back the onion, they might have invested in some assets, or they have a spouse that has a pension plan, whatever it might be. But the kind of theme is that real estate agents work forever, and some people say that they love to do it. That's great, right? Do it for the rest of your life. That's fantastic. My goals were different, right? I wanted financial freedom. I wanted to not be tied to actively earning my income, and I wanted just to honestly just do the things that I wanted to do when I wanted to do them. And I never wanted money to be an issue, right? I wanted financial freedom, and I think that might be one of the reasons why you're here as well. At least if that is one of the reasons why you're here, then we're definitely like-minded in that. And if not, that's okay, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Not everything in this video or with my story is going to appeal to you, but it might be one of the things that we already have in common, right? We're searching for that financial freedom. When he got to the right-hand side of the quadrant and he started talking about passive income and residual profit, right? From either being a business owner, owning a business system, and then leveraging people inside that system to scale to an unlimited, right, amount. That's He said those words. He said unlimited income potential, and my eyes lit up. Right, almost like when she told me that she made 300 grand a year. I was like, oh, I just kind of relived right that moment in my life. I was like, holy cow, unlimited income potential, right? And the thing about scaling, right, inside of a system or inside of a business is as you continue to scale and grow, the income grows, but the work doesn't necessarily grow at the same rate or in the same proportion that the income does. So you have the opportunity to scale your income and grow your income exponentially faster and more than you could, right, if you were actually just physically doing the work. John D. Rockefeller said, I'd rather have 1% of what 100 people produce than 100% of what I could produce on my own. And I think he's like one of the wealthiest people, right, on the planet. But right, so that leverage, right, wins that game over there. And then in the bottom right, you have investors, and right, investors just understand how to use their money or leverage their money or assets to then go out and get more, or right, collect rental properties. For our case, right, because we're in real estate. But as soon as I started learning that and got that concept, I was like, holy cow, right? I've got to get to the right-hand side of the quadrant. Well, if we take just a general look, right, at not just our industry, but America as a whole, or the world as a whole, 95% of the people live on that left-hand side of the quadrant, right? 95% of the people are actively earning their income, right, and live over there, while 5% of the people are on the right-hand side, and 5% of the people are earning that residual profit and passive income from their businesses or from their assets. Now, conversely, 95% of the wealth lies with that 5%, and only 5% of the wealth lies with that 95%. So you could see, like, right off the bat, just with that concept right there, the goal is to get to the right-hand side of the quadrant, right? If you truly want that financial freedom, at least at that type of level where money's not an issue, right? And you don't have to go actively chase it down every single time. So we got together. That concept completely blew my mind. And, it caused me to really, again, just kind of reflect where I was at. And I ended up leaving where I was at. It was a traditional firm. And they had the traditional model. I'll get into some of the advantages and disadvantages that we saw personally just with the traditional business model. But I left there. Again, it was like another, almost like reliving the past. Like when I left the factory, everyone threw the book at me there again, because I was leaving a brand that was supposedly getting me more business, and I wouldn't be able to make it, right, with like a new no-name company, and the market I was going into was too tough, and right, it just like a common theme, right? I hear this over and over again. But I decided to leave, and then me and my partners, we decided to build and create our own model, right? We looked at, do you want to buy a franchise, right, and do we want to like get into one of those models? Really, Keller Williams was the only one that was somewhat appealing to us, just because they had the profit share, right, and they were huge, right? They're winning the distribution game at a really high level. So they had a lot of system and infrastructure and setup and whatever it might be, and we had very big, ambitious goals, right? We wanted to go nationwide, right? We wanted to go public. We wanted to do really, really big things, right? Me and my partners, but we kind of felt a little uneasy about profit share. Right, we liked the idea, and the concept made a lot of sense to us, giving something back to the agents who do so much of the hard work to build the businesses or grow the revenue in the businesses and maintain, right, the income that's coming in. But again, right, a retired real estate agent, oftentimes they're left with nothing at the end of their career. So, we liked the direction that was going, but we decided to take it one step further. And honestly, we thought we were way ahead of the curve. Right? We thought we were coming out with the next best thing since sliced bread, right, in the real estate industry. Back in like 2015 when we started, or 24, I think it was 2015. Yeah, 2015 when we started. We wanted to share revenue with our agents. We thought that only made sense. Hey, if they're gonna help us generate revenue, if they're gonna help us grow the company, why not give them a piece of that back? Right? Why not really incentivize them to help us grow this thing, but also allow them to build a business underneath our wing, right? Without having to take the risk that we took. We put up about $50,000 to get our company up and running. So let's put that in there so that they have the same opportunity, or even like a better opportunity, right? Because they wouldn't have to take the same risk that we did. We also wanted to share equity. Now we were small, independent here in Illinois. We, who knows how long it would take us to go public, but we were like, dude, once we get there, we're sharing equity, right? We want our brokers, and we had partners in our name for a very, very strategic reason, or a very intentional reason, I should say. We honestly felt like every single person that works with us is a partner, right? And we think that that's probably the most effective and the most beneficial relationship you can have in any type of work environment, right? We never like that, broker owner and then agent. We're all equal. We're all in this together. We're all looking to build something great and do something awesome, right, with our lives and with our businesses. And how do we give the agents the best chance? So we built that model. Like I said, we thought we were way ahead of the curve on that, and we grew it to a decent size here in Illinois. We did that for 6 years, right? 6 years on our own. We were independent, dealing with everything that comes along with being an independent office. If you run an office before on your own, or if you're currently running an office on your own, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Getting it started, and then also the effort and the energy that goes into growing it, but also maintaining it, and then managing all the systems and stuff like that. We did that for 6 years, and then when the pandemic hit, we took a look in the mirror, and we had to really do an honest assessment of where we were at, and look at where we still wanted to go, and really swallow our pride, and we had to eat some humble pie, and we came up with we came to the conclusion that we weren't the right people, right? And we didn't want to be those people that were going to build a national infrastructure and scale. What systems would it take? How do we take a company public? What was involved in doing all of that, and why, right? Why do all of that stuff on our own? And what we decided to do was, why don't we look out into the space, and let's try and find a company that we could partner with. Someone that was similar enough and like-minded enough, shared the same values, right, and had the same culture, built their company for the same reasons, right, wanting to see the agents really succeed, right, wanting to see the agents end up with something at the end of their career, something tangible, something saleable. And what we found was like a plug and play system that we could just really get into and scale, right? And scale and focus on the things that we're really good at. We looked at EXP, and we were never 100% comfortable going with the EXP. And honestly, I'm the type of person that I believe in what you put out is what you get. And really, if you're here today, right, you got that feeling that there might be something better out there, just like we did before we made the switch. There's a reason you're here, right? There's a reason why this information got to you. There's a reason why you're on this site. Not up to me, right, to decide what that reason is. That's completely up to you. And if you're open to exploring, and if you're open to seizing the opportunities that come in front of you, because I believe you put things out there, those things come back to you, and then it's all just a matter of if are you open and are you willing to seize those opportunities. So I would have you consider that if you're here for a reason, and if you stayed this long, you stayed this long for a reason. But we were putting it out there, right? That's what we were looking for, and that's what we wanted to do. And this company Real fell into our lap. And when I looked at the website, my partner found it first, and then he sent it to me. When I looked at the website, I was like, this is a no-brainer, right? I mean, they structured their revenue share similar to the way that we did, for the same exact reasons, to match their culture and match the support systems that they have there, the way that they want to grow their culture. technology based, right? Everything is like instantaneous, right? Proprietary information changing, right? Bringing a lot of systems and tools to the industry that's causing disruption, that's causing change. And they were already in 36 states and Canada. So for us, and equity. Ooh, I almost skipped over the biggest part. Equity, right? So, and the opportunity to earn equity in a rising, right, a publicly traded rising company for doing the things that we were already doing. This is the thing that boggles my mind the most is, I go there, I can go there as a producing agent, and what I love is they reward producers so generously there, right? They want those producing agents to come over, so they get the bulk and the lion's share of those of that type of reward. But you go there and you're already producing, right? You're already generating commissions, right? Doing what you're doing. But here you just get rewarded, right, for doing that. Very competitive split, low cap. In fact, there's an opportunity to earn a lot, if not the majority or the most or all of the cap that you pay the company. You get to earn that back, right? You can get that back with rewards and bonuses and stuff like that. So all these things, right? The revenue share, the equity, the opportunity to literally get in at the ground floor, the technology, the culture, the mindset, right? All these things just completely lined up with who we were and what we were looking to do. And it was easy, right, for us to make that decision once we found this company and talked to leadership. Now, overnight, we went from being in one state to 36 states and Canada. So international, right, like that. Overnight, we started earning equity, right, and building equity in a rising company, publicly traded rising company. Overnight, we were able to offer 10 times the resources that we could ever offer on our own to all of our broker partners. It was, overnight, it was like a night and day opportunity. Again, a plug and play system that we could just, plug ourselves into, and then we were able to scale quickly, right? And we're growing fast right now, right? Most of our team is here in Illinois. We're quickly growing into several other states, and we're looking to go nationwide, right? So we still have those same goals. We still have those same ambitions. We're just looking for more of the right people that are looking for a similar opportunity to partner with, and also show them what we've done to get to where we're at, help them grow their businesses in turn, right? That helped us grow our businesses. I think it was Zig Ziglar, who said, if you help enough people get what they want, you'll ultimately end up with what you want. So, that's where we're at. And if there was an opportunity for you to, if there's an opportunity for you to have all the benefits of ownership without taking any of the risks and having any of the liability, right? That's the other thing too. Overnight, all of our risk, I shouldn't say all of our risk, that's not fair. Most of our risk was gone, right? All of our liability gone, overhead was gone. If there was an opportunity for you to have all the benefits of ownership with none of the pitfalls, right, would you be interested? If there's an opportunity for you to scale a team of independently producing agents, right? One of the things we saw in the industry, teams, and some people are like, I never want to build a team. Well, I wouldn't want to build a traditional team either, right? Because that's still me being self-employed and having to continually churn and burn to keep that team running. Here, what we focus on is independently producing team members, right? How do I help people become independently successful? And then how do we help them scale independently successful teams? And then develop leaders around that. So if there's an opportunity to do those types of things, to earn equity for what you're already doing in a company that's rising quickly, an opportunity to go international, right, and take your business from where you're at right now to international pretty much overnight. Opportunity to leverage the license that you already have to start creating multiple streams of income, building long-term wealth, right? Would you not explore that? And it's okay if it doesn't interest you, if it's not something that like excites you, if it's not something you're passionate about, it's okay, right? It's just okay, right? With where you're at and what you're trying to do. Everyone has different goals and ambitions and dreams. And honestly, we're not looking for people that are on the fence. We're not looking for people that aren't 100% sure. We're not looking for toe dippers, right? We're not looking for people that say, I want to try this and see if it works. No, we're looking for the people that want to build wealth. We're looking for the people that want to build and scale residual profit. We're looking for people that want to be leaders, right? We're looking for people that want to cause disruption in an industry that, in my opinion, has been broken for a long time and is changing quickly. So the proposition and what I'm going to propose to you right now, join the team, right? Especially if you've been here this long, right? Click on the join button down there. Let's get started. Let's get busy, right? Let's start building and let's start helping you build and create your wealth and your residual profit with our business model. And again, if it's not for you, no worries, right? Thank you for your time. I appreciate you getting into the video and hanging out this long and hearing my story. There's tons of stuff, right, that not only Real offers, but our team offers. I'm not going to get into all that on this call, but I'll definitely be willing to share that information with you. Some of the proprietary things that our team is doing to help you build a business and hit those goals and dreams that you're looking to do. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for your time. I greatly appreciate it. I know how valuable that asset is. The older I get, the more I realize time is the only thing we don't get more of. So you gave it graciously today. You heard my story. You heard where I came from, how I got to where I'm at, how we got to where we're at. And again, we're just looking for more like-minded people to keep making a bigger and bigger impact in this industry, impacting realtors' businesses, and then helping other realtors impact other realtors who impact other realtors, right? That are really going to make a difference and cause change in an industry that I believe severely needs it right now. So thank you for your time. Greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to chatting soon.